Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, the filmmaker extraordinaire, and today we're going to be talking about medication changes. More specifically, kind of dealing with changing with your meds and just trying to push through life. Woo. As you may have guessed, med changes is one of the reasons why I have not been as active on YouTube recently. I am sorry for that. Things just got really out of hand in my life. Not in a bad way necessarily, but just a lot was going on and it just wasn't a priority really. But things have smoothed down a bit. My meds have stabilized. Things are looking up. So I was like, I'm gonna sit down, film a video. Hopefully I'm gonna edit it tonight and have it up tomorrow, which will be today, which should be Saturday. All right, to business. Basically, if you didn't know, I have a couple issues. Maybe I shouldn't call them issues, but they are things I have to deal with. Along with having anxiety and depression, I have bipolar 2, not bipolar as well, bipolar 2. So I was on an SSRI and a mood stabilizer or an antipsychotic at the same time. And what I've just been dealing with has been weaning off my SSRI, which I think stands for serotonin something reuptake. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That sounds familiar. Anyways. So I'm not going to go into specifics on which meds I was on because I think that's private information and I don't think it really behooves the video. But I had been on an SSRI for many years at this point. I think I started my first SSRI when I was maybe even my freshman year of college, either freshman or sophomore year of college, and now I'm out of college. So I've been on them for maybe let's say about 3 years, 3.5 years, which is a long time. And I did switch at one point. I went from one to another, but because of how they work, I kind of just went immediately from one to the next one. I didn't have to wean off of it and wax back up. I could just kind of take a new one day. So it's been a really long time since I had been on. It's been a long time since I was on those medications, and my brain, my body was just used to that stuff. And then I started taking the mood stabilizer maybe 6 months to a year ago. Let's give it a nice range. And that was because I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, and they're your mood swings and everything that's going on, that is not going to be helped by the SSRI. They're targeting different things. So you need to try this new medication. And I was like, okay, cool. Hey, if this is going to help me, I am all for medication. I know some people aren't all for medication, and obviously everyone makes their own decision. Talk to your doctors, talk to professionals about it. For me, I like being on medication because it has definitely improved my quality of life. However, when you're trying new meds and then trying to find a good sweet spot, things can be tough. So I obviously haven't been on the mood stabilizer anywhere near as long as the SSRI. And I started at a low dose and then moved it up. And then not only did I have to figure out the dosage, but then I was taking it at different times of day to try to figure out the best time, optimal time of day to take it. And the mood stabilizer I'm on makes me really tired a lot. It just is what it is. My psychiatrist finally was we need to get you off this mood stabilizer. But before we do that, I want you off the SSRI. So that means I had to wean off of that. And if anyone's ever trying to change their dosage of medication or start something new, you know that it really messes with your body. For me, I already get migraines, right? And it makes me get I don't know if they're really migraines at that point, but they're bad headaches. My stomach's upset all the time. I feel even more lethargic. And I just feel lousy and bloated and not happy. And it's funny because these meds are supposed to make me happier, right? But when you're just taking them and they're adapting to your body, or your body's adapting to them, it's almost the opposite effect. And then just when I recently finally stabilized out again, they're okay, great, now let's totally lop the med off now that we've gotten you halfway down. And a few months ago I went from 75 to 50 to 25 to nothing. Now I'm on nothing, and I've been on nothing for a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. And things are finally making sense in my life. And that's not to say that like meds control like how I feel about my life, obviously, but when you're going through stuff and you're used to like having like certain coping mechanisms, I feel like I have lost since being on various medications that I used to have, because like my brain was like, oh, you don't need to know this anymore. Like you can let this coping mechanism go and like focus on like living life and feeling happier. But then when that kind of like goes away, you have to like come up with your solutions for things. And it's like, I struggle with sleeping, and I used to take this Altaril I got it from Costco, not a prescription, just like over the counter pill, like every night for a while. And it really helps. Like I was sleeping a lot better, but then with my mood stabilizer, because it makes me so tired, I now only take the sleeping pill like if I'm really struggling with sleeping. Like I don't take it every night anymore, and because I was just so fatigued with like the combination. However, like I sometimes still struggle with falling asleep, and I don't remember all the things I used to do to help me fall asleep when I was younger, because for like 2 years I was taking this pill that would just help me sleep. And that's like a much lower level comparison, but it's like a similar thing with now with my like SSRIs, which are targeting my anxiety and depression. I feel like I'm definitely feeling more stressed again. Depressed wise, I feel like my mood is more stable. Like I have been like very happy recently, and like at a good level, not like high over the world like manic levels or anything, but just like I'm feeling really good about life. But at the same vein, I'm like very stressed. And I think one thing that this video is so all over the place. I am so sorry. I made no agenda, no plan. I'm just babbling. But if you're still listening, like not only I wasn't expecting that, even though I should have, because of how I knew how I felt after like stopping the sleeping meds. But I was just like, okay, you're gonna deal with the stomach pain, the headaches, the whatever, but you're not gonna have to like, because you know my doctor was like, well, this will help so you won't have the mood swings as much, because apparently SSRIs can like kind of help with creating more mood swings when you're on a mood stabilizer. Then I wasn't really concerned about like getting more anxious again, but it has been really difficult because I kind of joke like, oh, I overthink everything, ha ha ha, but like it's not really that funny. Like it's really actually like an impairment on like just living life and going about your day, because I've been more recently like overthinking and like rehearsing conversations in my head again, which is not good because they almost never go according to how you know, think it out. And then if something doesn't go to plan, it's very hard for me to like not let that like ruin my whole day or time of it, because I'm not a spontaneous person. I am working on it, and like the other day I had a plan and that didn't work out, and I tried really, really hard to like pretend like it wasn't bothering me that much, because I didn't want like my friends who I was with for like their day to get ruined. And it all worked out, like everyone had a good day, but like I was very upset, and I am not used to like feeling that upset. I haven't felt that upset in a while when things like didn't go my way, in a sense, in a long time. And it sort of feels like I've stepped backwards, even though my mood has definitely been more stable since as I started weaning off the SSRIs. And I haven't like had a real like depressive episode in a while, but like the anxiety, like the faster heart rate, like struggling with, like I'm having more trouble sleeping again. I am having trouble like eating properly again. And that really sucks, because like I was doing so much better in those with that regard. And now it's like, I feel like I'm moving backwards. And it's all because like, and then like, I'm gonna get so emotional right now. It's like once I get to like a good spot finally with whatever my system is, like then I'm gonna switch my mood stabilizer, and I'm literally gonna cry. That is so embarrassing. Maybe I won't cry, I just feel teary-eyed. So it's like finally once I get like set up in my new system, I'm going to be on a new med again. And it's like all gonna start all over. Like the whole system is just gonna start all over again with like new medication, new trying out to figure out the dosage, new trying to figure out the time to take it. Like, is this even a good med for me? And it's really frustrating. And I am pro medication, as I said earlier in the video. Like, I think meds have been so helpful for me, but it's hard when you like you find something and you want it to work, and it just like doesn't work, and then you have to change your dosage, and you like already worked so hard to get somewhere. And like I'm also in therapy. Like I don't just take medication, I'm also in therapy. Like it's like a dual combo. Well, it's not a dual combo, I see two different people, but you know, I'm attacking the issue from multiple sides. And it like, sometimes it doesn't even seem to matter, and that is so disheartening. And yeah, it's just been really frustrating and tough, and I'm really hoping that like, because like I've got a little over a month into my new job, and I'm like starting a new relationship. Like things are definitely positive in my life, but I'm definitely nervous that like with another meds change coming up, like once I finally like evened out now, and I'm still like struggling a bit, because it's just gonna get worse. And I think sometimes there's just like, I see ads for meds all the time, and sometimes I see an ad for medication that I've been on or am on, and they always are like, they have all like, of course, the problems, like the fine print at the bottom, or like the death, you know, but the ads are always so positive. Like they never talk about like the hardships for like adapting to the medication, or oh, you may like actually like this med, but there might be a really bad side effect that you can't deal with. And because of that, we have to take you off of it. And then of course for every medication you're on, there's new side effects, and then you may have to take a med for that side effect. And it's just like a whole ripple effect of like doom and despair, like packaged in a nice little pill capsule for you to take every day. That sounded so negative considering that I like medication. I mean, they have helped my life so much. I think it's just frustrating because I see other people who meds have like helped their lives even more, and it's hard not to like feel bad that like I haven't had that happen to me in the same way. But the point of this video, along with just me talking about my own life experience, was just really to say like, if you are watching this video and you're struggling, or you've struggled with like medication switches, or feeling like things were going well and then like kind of derailed, like hopefully someone else has felt that way and I'm not the only one who's dealing with this, because it can be really isolating. And I have a couple friends who are on various medications as well, but like a lot of people I know are not on meds. They're just like happily living life, or maybe not happily living life, but like living life without medication. And it can be hard to relate to people that way, because like sometimes it feels like a cop-out, like, oh, you're on meds. And it does suck when I think like, what if I have to be on medication like the rest of my life? Like that is not great to think about, not only because like then you always have to deal with like taking the medication and like expenses for insurance doesn't cover stuff, but it's like you have to rely on something to like be basically like function like a human maybe is supposed to function, whatever that means. And I think that can be very frustrating, but we're all just doing our best. And this was the strangest the strangest video. I probably should have like laid out a strategy, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna wrap it up now. Sorry that it was so chaotic, but you know, I'm getting reused to talking to the camera like in this kind of setting, so bear with me. I will see you again very soon. If you found this video at all interesting or helpful or anything, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below your own experiences if you are open to doing so, and don't forget to subscribe because we are so close to hitting 2,000 subscribers, which is my goal for the year. Yeah, and I will, as I already said, I'll see you next time. Bye. I guess I never